Well, this is new territory for me. The Eternals, the latest Marvel masterpiece, takes us all the way to the beginning. And I mean the beginning. Like ancient Mesopotamia, the source of the various Greek and pre Greek deity class life forms and legendary heroes. This puts a very interesting spin on a lot of religions. Also, I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say the Catholics are going to be a little bit surprised and maybe upset. But keep in mind, folks, it's just a movie. It's not sacrosanct. The story is basically a bunch of ancient alien heroes are trying to protect humanity from these monstrous creatures, which are basically the source of all the legendary monsters throughout history: dragons, werewolves, sea serpents, that sort of thing. Only they've started to evolve. So now the Eternals have to band together, excuse me, because over the millennia they sort of drifted apart over their differing ideas about humanity. And they have to come back together to fight one last battle. And this time it's for all the marbles. And while there is a twist at the end, which I'm not going to spoil, things definitely get upended. And humanity really faces its own demons at that point. Overall, the film was pretty decent. Had a lot of flashbacks, but they were good flashbacks. And they were informative, so 6 of 1. If you hate flashbacks, then you'll hate the movie. If you don't hate flashbacks, you can enjoy the ride. Honestly, I thought the story was well paced. The various character dynamics, hope I didn't butcher that word. I said character dynamics. Really helped sell that these were old beings who are sort of worried that they've lived too long and become villains. And it shows in their eyes that they've witnessed a lot more death than they want. And no, I don't mean just through conflict. I mean they've had to watch people they care about succumb to natural human mortality while they have to go on. And they pity the dead. Or no, they don't pity the dead, they pity themselves. Excuse me. All the actors do a fine job. I'm not really going to list them all, but I think Angelina Jolie's subtle performance as a war deity that is war weary and maybe suffering from PTSD was one of the best. There are several references, not all necessarily connected to Marvel. One is done by a child, which I found very, very amusing. I'm not going to spoil it, though. You got to see the movie. There's a lot of, shall we say, representation, but it's not bad representation. It's just people living their lives. Some of them just happen to live far longer lives than the average person. The villains are okay. Visually, they're amazing. They're like beautiful abominations. No, not that kind of abomination. Like the classic term. And the head villain, he's sort of sympathetic, but unrepentant. There's another sort of villain that I don't want to get into because of spoilers, but that character's story is also a very nice arc. The final battle sort of peters out, I will say that, but what leads up to it is worth watching. This basically sets up a new branch of the Marvelverse, and I really, really want to see where it goes. So I hope this film does well enough to merit another movie. Because, according to the credits, the Eternals will return, and let's hope they at Marvel make good on that promise. Because what I've read from Wikipedia about the characters in the show, I really want to see this branch of the Marvelverse blossom. This is Mr. J signing out. I'm reminding you, that crazy guy with the hair and the aliens theory, if he was in the Marvelverse, he'd probably be doing backflips by now. Have a good one.